Are necromancers real? The answer is yes and no. Let me explain. Draw yourself a salt circle and let's dive in. Long before witches and broomsticks, there were necromancers. And in ancient Greece, they whispered to the dead. The word necros, meaning corpse, and mentia, meaning divination. Necromancer literally means corpse magic. I know. So wholesome. But even before it had a name, people were calling up the spirits of the dead for answers, whether looking for a lost object or to see the future. So the necromancers would dig shallow graves, they would burn some herbs, and maybe chant in some forgotten language. Not to curse, but to ask. What answers did they receive? Well, Rome outlawed it, and the church feared necromancy. But the rituals never stopped, they just sort of backed away into the shadows or underground. In medieval Europe, necromancers wore robes, not horns like you see in pop culture references today. They often just looked like scholars and were astrologers or herbalists. Sometimes they looked even a little like popes. And speaking of popes, Pope Sylvester II, or Gerbert of Aurillac, was a genius with numbers. And some accused him of using black magic, but in truth, he was just really good at math. But during this time, people were killed for books, especially those who could be seen chanting in Latin. If you own too many books, necromancer. Like the stars a little too much, necromancer. Drawing circles and listening to the wind, necromancer. But what about the stories we hear? Skeleton armies and treasure maps that only can be seen under ghost light. And in one case, a necromancer once asked a dead priest where to find his gold that he buried. Super casual, you know. But in truth, most necromancers can't even raise a whisper. But that doesn't stop the belief from being very powerful. And in this world, fear spreads faster than fact. So, is necromancy real? Yes and no. That all depends on who you ask. What they called necromancy was often science, intuition, or just simply genius. Maybe even just a misunderstood ritual for contacting the dead through divination, which we've been doing since we noticed people dying. But you don't need a skull to talk to the dead. Just maybe a question, and not just to be or not to be. Necromancers were not monsters or magicians, they were just simply historians, seekers, and maybe even outcasts. But be careful, because they might still be listening. So spooky.